Oh, good afternoon. Welcome to our solo walk. It's a kind of an overcast day here, but a beautiful day just the same. A great day to be alive and inhabiting this old meat suit. It's an amazing time to be here on this planet, I guess. Experiencing the things that are happening and going to happen here for humanity. I had a few things going through my head today as I was washing the old car and thinking about the way our society's going and just thinking about a lot of people lately are carrying on about censorship and cancellation culture and all that stuff, and the censorship and cancellation and all that's been going on for millennia, and that we should have recognized it and moved beyond it a long time ago. But the propaganda and the narrative and the program is like I said in the last video, runs deep, and it seems that it takes a lot for us to see through that, and that it's but if you look back over history, at least the history that we know, and that it's goes back thousands of years. You know, anybody that questioned the narrative stepped outside of the program of the time was censored, and that, you know, we can go back to the story that most people know, I would think, and that you can go back to the story of Jesus, and that, and in his time he questioned the narrative, questioned the religious program of the day, and tried to give a different perspective on spirituality, on humanity. And for that, he was first censored. You know, the parasites of the day, the powers that wanted to be, that were pushing the narrative, first slandered him, then they tried to silence him, and then they turned the propaganda machine against him and turned the people against him, and when all that didn't work, they canceled him, and the ultimate cancellation. But to the dismay of the parasites of the day, his message continued to grow. His message is that you are more than what you've been told, that you are part of creation, of the Creator, and that continued to grow for a few hundred years, and that didn't go well with the narrative at that time, so they brought in the experts in 327, the so-called anointed ones or whatever they thought they were, but all they were was just the new marketing team and decided to rewrite the history and the story and to take out parts and put in parts and to change it so that they could control the people. And then they handed that off to the media of the day and told them to go out and push the narrative. And out they went and pushed that narrative. And to this day, that narrative's still going, that propaganda. That narrative that you are a sinner, that you are not perfect, that there's something wrong with you and you need somebody outside of you to come save you. And then you come on up through history, and anybody that pushes the narrative, the story, the program, that questions, that makes the system look a little bad for them, maybe gets censored and canceled and so on and so forth. And you look at through the Middle Ages and that, where midwives and healers and herbalists and that were demonized, censored, called witches, and they were censored, and when that didn't work, they canceled them with the ultimate cancellation. And I think you know what I mean when I say the ultimate cancellation. And it just, the same story plays over and over and over again, right up into, the modern times. And that Second World War, different tyrannical governments, and that over the last 150, couple hundred years, that we do have some history on that could be almost credible, I guess. But again, the history that we know is, as far as, in my opinion, is all scripted too, and twisted to fit the narrative that they want it to fit. You can come up into this time now, and if you question the narrative, you go back to 2020. Anybody that questioned the narrative was a granny killer. That was nasty, terrible person, and the experts come out with their conclusions, and the marketing team give the story to the media, and the media pushed the propaganda, and the people fell for it again, just like this society has for eons and decades. And again, they're trying to do it again. If you question the narrative, question the program that these parasites are pushing, and that these powers that want to be, and that if you question it, they're starting to censor us more and more again. And it's censor for control, censor for compliance. If you don't comply, we're going to cancel you. And I think their objective is a lot of the ultimate cancellation, I think, if you don't comply, if you don't submit to their control. I think that's what a lot of the additives in the treatment for the pandemic is meant to do. Just my opinion, but You know, when you look at some of the reports and some of the stuff that's going on, that's exactly what it seems to be, at least to me. And that, but the good news in all those stories of censorship and control and cancellation and compliance and that is the truth still gets out. That no matter how hard they've tried over the centuries, millennia, to control, to manipulate, to program, and that civilization, they've never been able to truly succeed. And it seems to me that their grip on that narrative is starting to fade. I think there's more people like you and I that are starting to see through the stories, starting to see through the propaganda, the narrative, the programming, and starting to understand that the answer is within. You know, I'll give you a little prophecy right now. The future is you. That's a little prophecy for you, a little prediction. But the future is you. And it comes about when you understand that you are a co-creator of this, that you are a piece of creation, a piece of the Creator, a small G God, if you want to put it that way, if you believe in, if you want to name creation God, Creator, it's up to you. However you phrase it, it's all the same, really. And when you connect with that spirit within, when you realize that you are part of creation, a part of an actual part of the story, not just a cog in a wheel, that you are part of what's creating the new world that's coming, and not the new world that these parasites are looking for. It's one, I think, that will bring about some amazing things. Lots of stuff to go through, lots of shit to deal with. But if you stand on truth, stand on love, kindness, compassion, and I think that we can triumph, and we will triumph. But it's all up to each one of us. Each one of us to become the best me I can be, the best you can be, and to do the best you can with what you have, where you're at. Don't think that what you do doesn't make a difference. That smile that you give to somebody as you're walking by, or that hug you give somebody that's looking for it, all that makes huge difference. It raises the frequencies, raises the vibration, and the higher the vibration, the frequency, the less power that goes to these entities that are just parasites sucking your energy and your life force. Anyway, just remember, don't be confused or not confused, I guess, surprised by the censorship and the cancellations and the control they're trying to put on us, because they've been trying to do that for millennia. And we've succumbed to a lot of it, but they've never been able to completely control. That narrative isn't strong enough, and the truth always does rise above. You are the light, You are the future. And together we will make it happen. Anyway, so reach out, give your loved ones a hug, tell them they're loved. Know you're loved. Look in the mirror, tell yourself you got this. You are more than enough. Have a great day. Be blessed. Much love your way. We'll come at you again and we'll have another chat. But in the meantime, stand strong. Look within. Connect with that spirit, that wisdom, that knowledge that is within you, deep within. That just connect, trust, have faith in yourself, because that's where the spirit lives. That's where it breathes. So have a great day. Be blessed, and we'll talk at you again. Bye-bye.